It's gone. Make sure you behave. All right, so let's go ahead and open up your iBooks to where we left off yesterday in section 3. All right, open up the iBooks to section 3. All right, just to review a little bit, yesterday we looked at the fall of man, right? We looked at Eve being tempted. She eats the fruit. She hands it to her husband. He eats the fruit, right? Let's just review. What were the consequences of eating the fruit for the serpent? What did we say? What was the consequence, Sophia? Very good. And what do we call that verse? Genesis 3:15. You have to memorize this verse. You have to know it for the next test. You're going to write it. What is Genesis 3:15 called, Jake? Very good. This is the first announcement of the gospel. And we said that the woman, right, whose offspring is going to defeat evil is who? Who's the woman? Who's the woman? Mary. Very good. Excellent. And then the offspring, obviously, is Jesus. He crushes the head of the serpent by his crucifixion and resurrection. What's the ladies? Ladies, your punishment? Twofold. This was on the quiz today. What was your punishment, Hillary?
Childbearing will be painful.
And? What's the second one? Good?
Disconnect between men and women.
Very good, right? Childbearing will be painful, and the disconnect between men and women, right? And obviously we've seen that happen in our society. And gentlemen, you get 3 punishments. What is your consequence here? Who can remember what they are? Go ahead, Tristan.
Death, work, and not being able to, fearing that you're unable to provide.
Very good, right? You have to work, right, for everything that you have. And then even as hard as you work, you're going to know that you're not going to be able to provide for enough for what your family wants them to do in order to survive. And then number 3, you're going to die. Remember, you're dirt, and to dirt you shall return. As a result, God has to kick them out of the garden. Not because he doesn't love them, not because he's not going to take care of them anymore, but because he has to. You see, because if they were to stay in the garden and eat the fruit from the tree of life, they would live forever. And that means they would live forever in the sinful state, cut off from God. And God can't bear that thought. So he has to kick them out of the garden so they can't eat from the tree of life. Alright? So it's kind of like out of love he kicks them out. But he doesn't kick them out and say, good riddance, goodbye, I'm never going to see you again. He kicks them out and says, alright, I'm going to take care of you. And what do we call that? God's caring for and guiding us in our lives, Ella? Very good. That's divine providence. Alright? We said their sin is what? What's that mean? Actual sin. What was their sin? Karen?
Excessive pride.
Excessive pride. Wanting to be God. Right? That was their sin. They wanted to be God. Right? The devil said, remember, if you eat this, you're going to be like God. So they eat it because they want to be like God. That's a problem. It's a problem. Right? And if we look at our own lives, we do that a lot with ourselves. Right? We want to be the ones in charge. We want to be the ones that make the rules. Right? And that's a problem. All right? Very good. So today, what we need to look at, we need to talk about sin. Nobody likes to talk about sin, but we need to talk about it because it's a reality. Right? It's a reality in our lives because of our human nature, because of original sin. Right? And so there are 2 different types of sin. What were the 2 different types of sin? Very good. Venial sin and mortal sin. Right? Anybody know what a venial sin is? We said this yesterday. What's a venial sin, Ella? Very good, right? It hurts your relationship with God, but it doesn't actually destroy it. Notice the key here is that a venial sin still hurts your relationship. It's not as though venial sins are small sins that don't really affect your relationship with God that much. They still hurt. Right? Like if you have a friend and they lie to you about something, it hurts. It may not be really serious, but it still hurts. Right? Somebody misuses your trust, it still hurts. Somebody takes something from you, it hurts. Right? Venial sins still affect your relationship with God. It's not as though venial sins are okay. No. Right? Venial sins still hurt. But it allows your relationship with God to continue. So think about it this way. Your friend does something to you that upsets you, that hurts you. Right? They lie to you about something. Are you going to end the friendship over that? Probably not. Right? Probably not. But you're still going to be hurt over it. Right? You're still going to be hurt over it. Alright? A mortal sin is more serious. What's a mortal sin? What's a mortal sin? Hillary?
It's about completely destroys our relationship.
Yeah, right? This type of sin completely cuts us off from God, completely destroys our relationship with God. This is like something, we're thinking about your friend. Like there are certain things that you don't do when you have friends. Right? And this would be something like grounds for like the end of the relationship. Right? Like if your friend like cheated on you with your significant other. Like that would be ending of the relationship. No? Right? Like there are certain things that you would do that would be like, we're done. We're not moving past this. Right? That's a mortal sin. Alright? And in order for something to be a mortal sin, there's 3 criteria. It has to fulfill 3 things. Anybody know what those 3 things are? Right? Because it's not just like cut and dry. It's a lot of gray area here with mortal sins. Yeah.
You have to know that something's wrong.
Very good. You have to know that you're doing it. And it's wrong.
To do it with full, no pressure. All you do.
Okay, good. Full consent.
And
It's the third one. The third one's usually the most obvious. Is it a big deal or a small deal? Like what you do?
I didn't like breaks one of the 10 Commandments.
See, breaking 10 Commandments can be, you can break it in a big way, you can break it in a small way. It's still broken. It has to be what we call serious. It has to be a big deal. Alright, so let's take a look at these 3 criteria. Right, the first one is full knowledge. Let's see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Alright, the first one is full knowledge. You have to know what you are doing is wrong. Right, you have to know that it is a sin when you commit the sin in order for it to be the potential to be a mortal sin. Alright? So, we can do an example. Killing somebody. Right? Killing somebody. If I know that killing somebody is wrong, and I kill you, well now it can become the potential for a mortal sin. Alright? It can be the potential for the mortal sin. Yeah? We all good? Alright. The second one is full consent. Meaning you freely are choosing to do it. Nobody is forcing you to do it. Nobody is making you do it. Nobody is requiring you to do it. Right? You freely have made the decision, I am going to do this action no matter what, and I don't care. I know that it's wrong. I'm taking it anyways. Right? Same thing. Killing, it's an easy one. Right? I'm going to kill Hillary. Sorry. Right? I know killing Hillary is wrong. And she looked at me funny today, so I'm just going to do it. Right? But still the potential for mortal sin is there. Right? Still the potential is there. Okay? I know that it's wrong, and I'm freely choosing to do it. Right? It's not as though Sophia is paying me to do it, or she has a gun to my family's head and says either you kill her or I'm going to kill them. Now my consent is lessened. Because in that situation, I like Hillary, and I'm not going to kill her. Right? But if she's threatening my children, now my consent has been lessened. Right? In that circumstance, should I kill Hillary, though? If she's going to kill my children, should I kill her? No, I can't kill Hillary. Come on, I can't do that. Because she's not to be trusted. Sophia's not to be trusted. Because she already has told me that she doesn't care about my lives of my children because she would kill them. Right, anyways. So what reassurances do I have that she's actually going to be true to her word? So I can't just kill her. Right? That's a whole other argument. And then finally, the third thing is it serious? Is it a really big deal? Is killing Hillary a big deal? Yes, that's a really big deal. So, therefore, if I kill her, I know it's wrong, and I'm freely choosing to do it, well, now I've just committed a mortal sin, and I've cut myself off from God. Alright? Anybody else think of something that could potentially be a mortal sin? Potentially, right? Stealing something. So say I rob a bank, steal $1,000. Or better yet, you go into mom and dad's wallet and you take out $100. Taking money from mom and dad's wallet without the note, $100. Say 100. Is that serious? No, it's not serious. I'm asking, is it serious? It's $100? It's not killing somebody? Oh my gosh! What if I take $1,000? Take like $100 every week.
You can still give it back or something.
Yeah, it's not like
Guys, taking money from somebody is serious stuff, right? $100 is a lot of money.
But then planning on giving it back, it's different.
No, but it's different
Not
though,
like-
right?
like-
Because if you were planning on giving it back, you'd have that conversation with mom and dad and say, hey, can I borrow $100? Right? But if you're just taking it from somebody, it's pretty serious. Or, let's say this one. There's a homeless person in the streets of New York City. You walk up to them, they have their can on the ground, and you take the can.
That's not like.
You take the can. That's everything that they own.
But it's not
You-
your parents.
But that's not like a moral.
All right, well, that's my new example. You take
What
the
if that
money
was
from the
like
homeless
drug
guy on
money,
the
though?
street. That's a serious matter.
Yeah, that's
What if that was drug
That's serious.
Yeah.
So you may be only taking $4.37, but now you're willing to say that that's serious.
because it's all they have.
That's all they
You're
have.
not gonna like.
Your parents, they got
bankrupt
tons
your
of money.
parents.
All right, so at least we got serious, right? If I know taking that money from that homeless guy is wrong, then the potential is still there. And if I'm freely choosing to do it, like I walk up and I'm like, this guy doesn't need it, and I just take it, now it would be a moral sin, right? But say I don't know that stealing is wrong. Say it's like a little kid, right? Or no one's ever taught me that stealing is wrong. They kind of said, you see money lying on the ground, pick it up. If I don't know that it's wrong, what does it become? It's not moral, then it becomes venial. All right, then it becomes venial. Does that make sense? All right, here's everybody's favorite one. Missing Mass on Sunday. And a silence goes over the room. Let's go the backwards way. Do you know missing Mass is wrong?
Yeah.
If you didn't, now you do. So I just blew that one for you. My bad. Right? Yeah, so missing Mass on Sunday is wrong. So if you didn't know it before today, then no problem. Right? But now, it's wrong. Are you freely choosing to miss Mass? Right? You freely, so you have to decide. Are you freely choosing to miss it? Is it like, I'm too tired, I'm just going to sleep till 12 o'clock on Sunday? Or are you waking up saying, Mom, Dad, can you take me to Mass? And they say no. Right? If your parents say, no, you cannot go, well, then you're not freely missing it. There's no consent there. Right? But if you're kind of saying to Mom and Dad, like, I don't want to go, this is boring, or you're not asking to go, well, then your consent becomes a little bit higher. Right? You might be fulfilling that consent. It's up to you. Only you can answer that one. And then the third one is missing Mass serious matter? Yes or no?
Well, like, you have to go on Sunday, 'cause I know.
Saturday night. Saturday night or Sunday. Is it serious matter?
It's.
Yes. Yes. Missing Mass is serious matter. Right? We can talk about why when we get to the commandments. But I'm telling you right now, it is. It's serious matter. So you'd have to look at the three criteria. Did you know that it's wrong? Are you freely choosing to do it? And the serious matter is definitely fulfilled. So the two that you have to kind of answer for yourself is, do you know it's wrong? Now you do. So the last one that comes down to is, are you freely choosing to miss Mass? You have to answer that one for yourself. Right? Because it has the potential to become a mortal sin if you are. I'm not saying you committed any mortal sins. I'm not. Right? I'm not saying you have mortal sins in your life as a result of this, because the full knowledge might not have been there, or the full consent might not have been there. But you got to ask yourself, are you freely choosing to miss it, or are you missing it for other reasons? Right? It can be serious. All right? And that's a tough one. That's a tough one, because there's nothing more important in life than going to Mass every Sunday. All right? Any questions about these things? We're going to talk more about why when we get to the Ten Commandments. Right? There'll be a great opportunity for you guys to ask me all sorts of questions. And if you have any questions, you can ask it anytime you want, anyways, because I'd rather you ask questions than me teach this. All right? We good with that? Yeah. You all look like it's burst your bubble. All right. Section 4 here, Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. These are the children of Adam and Eve. Let's go ahead and read chapter 4, verse 1. Jake, go ahead, please. Nice and loud. It's okay.
The man had relations with his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next she bore his brother Abel. Abel became a keeper of flocks, and Cain a tiller of soil.
All right, so what are their jobs? Abel's a keeper of flocks. Cain is a tiller of soil. What does that mean? What's their jobs, Chase?
Cain's a farmer and Abel's a shepherd.
Very good, right? So Cain is a farmer, Abel is a shepherd. So just make sure you get that down. Keep going, Jake, whenever you're ready.
In the course of time, Cain brought an offering to the Lord from the fruit of the soil. Abel, for his part, brought one of the best firstlings of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but Cain and his offering he did not. Cain greatly resented this and was crestfallen. So the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you so resentful and crestfallen? If you do well, you can hold up your head, but if not, sin is an even lurking at the door. His urge is towards you, yet you can leave now."
All right, so there's a lot of really important things going on here in this section. The first thing, notice, right, Cain and Abel, right, they're brothers, right? Cain is the shepherd, right? Cain is the farmer. Abel is the shepherd. Come times for them to make an offering, to bring something to God, right? Anytime you make an offering to God, you want to give from God kind of the best of what you have, right? You have a fancy person over at your house for dinner, a really important person. You don't roll out leftovers. Right? You go and you get like the best cut of meat, right? You don't celebrate a holiday, right, with leftovers. You celebrate a holiday with like a prime rib. I never forget when I got engaged, my father-in-law, right, my mother was like, "We're going to cook like a pork loin," and my father-in-law goes, "You don't celebrate with pork. Celebrate with beef." You know, beef tenderloin is fantastic, right? Like that's what it is. You bring out like the best of what you have, right? And so here comes the offering that they're going to make. Cain brings his fruit, but Abel brings like the best sheep he's got, and he offers it to God. Which offering does God favor? Which one, Chase? The sheep, Abel's, right? Because of what it meant. Not necessarily God likes sheep more than he likes vegetables, right? But because of what each person was offering from their heart. All right? So let's put this down, right? The Lord is going to accept and to choose Abel's offering. One of the big things we see going on here is that God is choosing the second-born son over the first, which is going to be in contrast to the society of the day. Right? Firstborn children, you get almost everything when mom and dad die. Right? You get the heritage, you get the blessing, you get a double portion of the inheritance. Right? As a firstborn. You are like the most important child in the family. You get to tell your brothers and sisters what to do when dad dies. Right? Oldest boy. Sorry, ladies, you get nothing. Right? We're going to talk about the disconnect between men and women. It's already started. Alright? But in society, we see God kind of saying, "I don't care about the order in which you were born." God says, "I care what is on your heart." I don't care if you're the firstborn or the eighthborn. Alright? If you have a good heart, that's what I'm looking for. Alright? Now notice, Cain becomes very crestfallen and resentful towards his brother. Alright? He's not happy that God has looked with favor on Abel's sacrifice. He becomes jealous and envious. Right? And in verse 7, this is very, very important. God is going to say to Cain, "If you do well, you can hold your head up high." Like, why are you judging yourself against your brother? If you do what you know is right and the best of your ability, there is no reason to be envious of your brother. Right? And then he gives this kind of warning. Sin is a demon lurking at your door. His urges towards you, that you could be its master. Right? What do we learn from that? This is so important. That we have the power to overcome temptation. Right? Some people say, like, "All right, well, we're humans. Right? We just kind of have, it's our fallen nature. We're going to sin." False. False. You have the power to say no to your temptations. Right? God says that right here to Cain. "Look, I know what you're thinking about doing. Don't do it. You can control this. You can control this." Alright? We also learn that sin here is passed on from Adam and Eve to their children. Right? Because of the disobedience, the pride that Adam exhibited when he ate the fruit, the sin now is going to pass on to their children. Alright? Verse 8, who wants to read? Who wants to read verse 8? Go ahead, Sophia.
Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out in the field." When they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord God asked Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He answered, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord then said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the soil. Therefore you shall be banned from the soil and open its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. If you till the soil, it shall no longer receive it shall no longer give you its produce. You shall become a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is too great to bear.
All right, so let's just pause there at verse 14 now. So Cain obviously does not get control of this desire for, right, this envious thought. And what does he do to Abel? What does he do to him, Harley? Kills him. Wow. Things escalated quickly here, huh? He kills him. He kills his brother. Guys, look at this. This is the second sin in the Bible is murder. Murder. The second sin. Right? We go from pride, wanting to be God. Everything is perfect. Right? And then Adam and Eve eat the fruit. They disobey. They exhibit too much pride. And next thing you know, the next sin that takes place is murder. The taking of another human life, which I think we all would agree is pretty serious. Sin is escalating very quickly in the world. Right? Sin has found a home in the hearts of human beings. We welcome it in, unfortunately. We don't find a problem with being sinful. It's a huge problem. Right? Sin has passed on to the children of Adam and Eve. This desire to do wrong has passed on to Cain and Abel. Right? And then in verse 9 we see this question by God. Right? Where is Abel? And Cain responds, am I my brother's keeper? Am I responsible for my brother? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, you are. You are responsible for the people around you in your life. Yes, you are your brother's keeper. You are responsible for the people around you in your life. All right? Now we're going to pause there because the bell's going to ring in a minute or two. And I don't necessarily want to get into kind of this conversation between God. So I'm going to pause the video. You want to say goodbye to 8th period? Bye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say wave. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you want to see it too? You're good. Yeah, there we go. There they are. All right. Want to see if I can pause this?